What's going on, everyone? So a lot of buzz centered around De'Aaron Fox, obviously because the Sacramento Kings have fielded offers and are listening to potential trade scenarios for De'Aaron Fox. He is a guy that could really change a lot of franchises, right? Now, there's a lot of talks about him going to the San Antonio Spurs. I do think the Spurs make a ton of sense for him as a destination, but the Miami Heat is another real destination. So on recent reports, the San Antonio Spurs are still the top priority, the top destination, but Miami is right behind, and in some cases are kind of both in the mix. It just kind of ultimately boils down to what can Miami put together in order to entice and potentially acquire a guy like a De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, especially if you can unload a Jimmy Butler, maybe you see the Sacramento Kings get in the mix of things, right? Like, so the Warriors apparently are still very interested in potentially acquiring Jimmy Butler. So if maybe you could work something out to where Jimmy Butler goes to the Warriors, maybe some pieces end up going to the Sacramento Kings and Aaron Wiggins, or Andrew Wiggins, Andrew Wiggins, and then maybe like a Kuminga or something like that. And then Miami ends up getting De'Aaron Fox. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, Tyler Hero with a Ware and a Bam. I mean, that's a great foundation. That's a very good team. You still, if you can maintain and keep Jovic, like that's, again, you got the starting five that I think can compete with most, if not all teams. De'Aaron Fox is one of the best fourth quarter players, one of the best crunch time players. He's a guy that can really kind of change things in Miami and kind of put them in prime position to still be competitive, still contend. And a lot of it is predicated on Bam Adebayo's relationship with De'Aaron Fox, that they're friends, that they would love the idea of playing together, kind of reuniting and being able to link up as like that duo, and especially with Miami in the emergence of Ware, right? You have a really good foundation. Ware's ability to stretch the floor would not interfere with De'Aaron Fox because, he likes to kind of operate in that office area, that like 15 in, as well as apply that rim pressure, get to the basket, score around the rim, right? You'd be able to still maintain that, allow Fox to continue to still do that, spread the floor with Ware. Bam can knock down, the little elbow, little 15-footer. They've tried this kind of like stretch Bam this year in Miami, and it just hasn't really worked out, but that's fine, right? Having Ware and Bam as your kind of front court anchor, especially with how good Ware has been since moving in the starting unit, and kind of begs the question of like, why hasn't this happened sooner? Why are they just now starting to do that? But better late than never, right? And he is a rookie, so obviously there's the, hey, we don't want to rush him and put too much on his plate, but he's delivered for Miami. And I do think Miami, right, like, if De'Aaron Fox wants to win, right, like, you can make an argument Miami, because Miami's an organization that will do whatever it takes to win, that'll put whatever piece that they need to win. I do think De'Aaron Fox, right, there's really only like 2-3 teams in the Eastern Conference that you really have to worry about, right? And I think if Miami makes the right moves, gets the right pieces, makes the right adjustment, they could be in the thick. They could be within those 3 teams to potentially do that. The East is also just so much easier than the Western Conference, right? As far as like the matchups, night to night, and then also come playoffs, it's like you can make an argument for like 9 teams in the Western Conference to come out of the West, right? In the East, it's really like 3 teams, right? It's like, the Knicks, the Cavs, and the Celtics, no particular order, just the way that they popped into my head. But, so you look at kind of what Miami could accomplish and adding pieces and the emergence of Ware and stuff like that. They could really start carving out that path to contend as soon as this season, maybe even at worst next season, where a team like the Spurs, yes, you got a generational guy in Wemby. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to undersell the San Antonio Spurs, but the Spurs have a lot more that they would need to put into place to get to contention status, right? Like, they would have to kind of, like, where I think Miami already has the foundation. They already have the pieces, right? De'Aaron Fox, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Khalil Ware. Those are the 4 guys. Those are your main 4 guys. You find out that third, the 3 spot. If you ever needed to in a pinch, you have a guy like a Tyler Hero that would probably get you a really nice return. If, again, let's say it's just not working or it's clunky or something like that, right? You could go and easily turn Tyler Hero into other pieces that you need or assets that can then be flipped and other things. So Miami just has some good flexibility on the potential trade front where, a team like the Spurs, ton of assets, ton of young players, ton of young talent, but they would also have to kind of start really putting the pieces together, right? Because you add them there, it's really like Wemby and De'Aaron Fox, right? Stephon Castle is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but he still needs to develop. He still needs to come into his own. Also, does De'Aaron Fox potentially kind of hinder his development? That's something to keep in mind. You have like a Jeremy Sohan, right? They have young guys, but a lot of those guys are still in the process of developing, right? Bam is already who you know he is. Tyler Hero is already having, an all-star level season. You kind of look at like Khalil Ware, he's really emerged and came out on his own, right? And Miami could still go make other moves, still go get other pieces, right? I do think that there is an argument that hey, Miami might give you the better chance, at least at the moment, to win a championship in Miami, again, given all accounts with the Eastern Conference and all that stuff compared to, the San Antonio Spurs and just the juggernaut that is the Western Conference. But again, the Spurs can easily put together just a great roster. It's kind of centered around those guys because they have the assets, they have the picks, they have multiple teams' picks, Atlanta's picks, right? Like all these picks that they could leverage and use to not only go get a De'Aaron Fox, but maybe go get another piece. You bring in like a Brandon Ingram or something like that and like immediately go from, missing the play into, now you're maybe one of the top 5 teams in the Western Conference and one of the better teams in the league and just really taking some strides. There's paths there either way. I don't think De'Aaron Fox could go wrong. Personally, I'd like to see him with Wemby and the Spurs. I think the Spurs, they're an organization that you can trust, right? They're committed to winning. They want to win. If they get the foundation there, I think that they will do what they have to do and trade whatever they have to trade and go about whatever they have to go about to build the team necessary to now compete and win a championship. Problem is just how long does it take to really carve that out, right? Because, if you go get Fox, you don't want to wait 3 years, 4 years. But Wemby is so cheap right now, too. And that's another benefit that I think the Spurs have, is that Wemby is he's making $13 million next year and $16 the year after that, right? Like if you're the Spurs, you're in great shape. Like you can take some risks. You can go and bring in a guy that, maybe be slightly overpaid. Like you could go get a Zach LaVine if you wanted to and justify it, right? Because again, Wemby's so cheap, it kind of balances itself out, and you just have like this juggernaut of a team now. But just things to keep in mind and kind of be interesting to see which direction and where De'Aaron Fox is head at. Where does he want to go? Most of the consensus reports and stuff is that no, he's going to go to the Spurs. That he wants the Spurs. That's his preferred destination. That him and Victor Wembanyama would make that dynamic duo, that just elite pairing, but his relationship to Bam has him linked to Miami, so we'll see. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you love the idea of him going to Miami? Do you think no, he should go to the Spurs, he should go elsewhere? Do you have a particular other team that you want in mind? Obviously, I'd love to have him on the Lakers. I just don't think it's very realistic compared to some of these other teams. But you never know. Crazier things have happened. But however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.